What's up, everybody? Great day, great Easter, and I guess I'll say April Fool's Day, because yesterday I said I wasn't going to be here. Of course I'm going to be here. Side note, I'm always going to be here. We're always going to be here. Remember I said when we did our little intro yesterday that we're never going to let anybody down? So I will say Happy Easter, and I will say Happy Passover, but why not have it be Passover and Easter every day? Right? Success doesn't take any breaks. So I got a great song for you today to kick it off, and then we're going to start this whole idea of the 15 commitments. I love it. Hey, what's up, Joe? You're the only one that knew that I was just kidding. 99 love balloons in Germany. Everybody's sleeping. I love it. Great morning. Yes, Andrea, I was kidding. Of course I'm going to be here. I'm never, ever not going to be here. Not me. Zach already found his basket. It's Easter. Fun, Easter baskets. So I'm coming to you from the gym, and I just want to show you, I know a lot of people ask me this question before I start. One of the things that I do every day is I grab a ball like this, and I do 20 minutes every day, every single day. I do 20 minutes of ab work on it. So I've already done that. That's one of the things, yes, that's one of the things that I always commit to doing. But we'll talk about it. Gonna start today. I started reading the foreword of the 15 commitments. So if you haven't gotten that, the 15 commitments of conscious leadership, get on that, because it's gonna be the focus of all the rise ups, right? One of the first thoughts that I wrote here today was all of these things, I was just thinking about this, all of these things that we learn, you know, whether they're, listening to tapes, reading books like we're about to do, we constantly hear the same exact thing about success. But the question I had is you ever try them? Have you ever tried them? Because it's funny because we always hear the same exact thing. It's always obvious that success comes as a result of X, Y, Z. But have you ever tried them? And if you look and said, I've tried them, then you haven't tried them, because the number one principle is consistency, right? So consistency is not something you try, it's something you do. I thought that was interesting. So anyway, as we open the book, you know, it always starts off with this idea of drawing a line, and it talks about the difference between being above and below the line. Happy, healthy morning, family. What's up, Joe? Most people are going to watch this as a recording today. So we draw a line and we decide to be above or below the line. And if you start reading the book, what it really talks about is it's the difference between being conscious and unconscious. Now, I want to state right now, I'm going to go off of what I've written. By the way, this is what it looks like, and I'll explain what that is in a second. It's not good or bad to be above or below the line, but you'll find that being above the line, and I'll explain what that is just the preferred state of being, because it's the one that promotes success. So I'll read what I wrote. So the difference between being conscious and unconscious, just think about what that means to you. If you're conscious, you're making decisions that are based on like reality. If you're unconscious, you're making decisions like unconsciously, based on how you feel and things like that. Not going to get you forward. So above the line versus below the line. So it's an either or meaning, right? You're either above the line or below the line. And at any moment, leading your life either above the line consciously or below the line unconsciously. So just quickly, what it says in the book is it just talks about above the line means that we're taking responsibility. That's what it means for our life. It means that we're open, we're curious, we're open and curious, and we're also committed to learning. Below the line, which we spend a lot of time below the line, don't we? It means that we're closed and we're defensive and we're committed to being right. You hear me talk a lot about the difference between being right and kind. So I just want you to look at that as you look at the book and just start questioning what it is that you want. Remember, put up your dukes, right? What do you want and why? That's the whole focus of everything that we do, right? We're all going to do something. In this month in April, today's day 1, we have 30 days to commit to doing something. And the idea of this whole group is, what if we did it every day? What if we committed to it in this environment? So once you know your what and your why, then just start looking at this idea of being above or below the line and just use logic. Just say, am I best served to acquire that which I want being above the line or below the line? Right? And remember, being below the line doesn't mean you're doing anything bad. In fact, it's great to be below the line when you recognize you're being below the line. So that's what it is, and I'll explain this little post-it note in a second. Actually, I'll explain that right now. One of the things that we're going to do in this version of What's the Risk, and we're calling it April Fuels 2018, is I'm going to challenge everybody that does a Rise Up and everybody that participates and watches a Rise Up. Every time, I'm going to challenge everybody to write a Post-it note. Now, I've put my Post-it note in my journal entry, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up with some cool idea where each day that we do, hey, what's up? Great Easter, Kelly. Each day that we have a Rise Up, which is 30 times, we're all going to have a takeaway that we're going to put up on a wall or a mural. And at the end of this April Fuels, we're all going to have 30 Post-it notes that we can look at every day and never forget anything. So this one that I wrote here, I drew the line on this Post-it note, and I found Post-it notes that were hearts. Guys, you're going to think that's kind of silly, but you know what? That's right, Victoria. We call them golden nuggets. So I just wrote a line and I wrote open, curious, committed to learning, and then closed on the bottom, defensive. Why? Because this Post-it note will allow me to always look. Oh, here come some people now. They're like, he's doing it. This Post-it note on day 1 will always remind me to evaluate, am I below the line or above the line? Look at that. Joe Speranza just threw a heart up there, man. Takes a strong man to throw a heart. By the way, in all of the Rise Ups this month, let's always check in with 20 hearts. Whether you think that's a good idea or a bad idea, it's good for the person doing the Rise Up, and just let's share some more love this month, right? Always check in. Every time, whether you're on a recording or live, check in with 20 hearts. So, the first marker for leadership is self-awareness and ability to tell the truth about oneself. Awareness is so powerful. Remember, it's not good or bad to be above or below the line, but to be aware of it, that's where the power comes. Because of our surveillance nature, you know, where we come from as humans, we always had to be on the lookout for danger, right? Saber-toothed tigers and all that stuff. So it's natural. I like the room. This is where I work out. It's natural to always be on the defense in life. It's actually a survival tactic. So that's fine. That's fine. So what the book is going to start talking about is catching yourself, being aware of being below the line. You know, like if I'm defensive and I'm closed, which is natural if I walk into an uncomfortable environment, right? Or that uncomfortable environment might even be just this world which gets uncomfortable, or the idea of succeeding, you know, all these things that we go through in this group. Very often it puts us closed and we're scared and fearful. That's fine, because if you recognize that you are, and that's what this Post-it note might do for you, or reading this book and say, oh my God, I just identified because I'm being conscious now, right? I was just unconscious, now I'm being conscious, and I just recognized I'm below the line, right? This is such a blessing. What a great thing, because now I can shift. So you've heard me talk a lot about drift versus shift. So recognizing you're below the line is such a blessing, because it gives you the ability to make a decision. Do I want to move forward? Because now we know, being aware of being below the line, say, of course I'm not moving forward. I'm leading from below the line right now. So I just kind of jumped all over that. So choosing to shift is a really important concept. All right, let me see if I can catch up here. So it's not a bad thing to be below the line, nor a good thing to be above the line. It's just the preferred state, right? When we say, what do I want and why, our Dukes, it's the preferred state to be above the line to get to what we want. Because that's where growth is promoted, progress, and think about what your plan is here for April, right? I mean, think of why are we in this group for ourselves, selfishly? What does it mean for us? What does it mean for those around us to move towards our goals? What does it mean for humanity, right? So it's just the preferred state to be above the line. Love that. This book is going to be such a powerful tool for all of us. So my challenge today, and this is, and the idea is that the challenge / takeaway will be the Post-it note. Right? So everybody grab, if you don't have any, go get some, and just every day commit to part of your goal. I mean, my goals are physical, mental, and financial. Like, I'll give you an idea. One of my goals is I'm going to force myself, I shouldn't say force, but I'm going to commit myself to going to CrossFit like 3 times a week. That is a very, very hard thing for me to do time-wise. I'm going to do my program, it's going to be about body fat and stuff like that. So that's what I've decided to do. But what I'm recognizing today is the value of having these 30 takeaways from what I'm doing here today and what you guys are going to do. All of you I'm having people reach out to me now and saying, I want to do a Rise Up. That's so crucial. I'm starting to fill the calendar up. There's probably about 15 days, other days that are open. So please select to raise your hand and do a Rise Up. Do an actual Rise Up here. You will get so much out of it. You know, if you've done a Rise Up, comment down there. We've got some of the people you saw last month doing Rise Ups this month. They're going to be amazing, but step into that zone. I'm challenging you. You know who I'm talking to. If I'm pointing at you right now, that means reach out to me, and it's time for you to do a Rise Up. Happy April Fool's Day. So the challenge today is just to use this Post-it note, use this Rise Up I'm doing right now, and understand the power of being aware of being below or above or below the line. You'll see that the next phase of where we go with this book, that we will all build on this premise of recognizing if we're above or below the line. So, you can get creative. You guys are also creative. If you're gonna have 30 Post-it notes, you can put them on the wall. You could I think that it'd be great for me every day to look at all 30 of them by the end of the month and just remind myself, because we forget so many times. So what happens when we're below the line? We're closed. So if you're closed and you're below the line, guess what? You might not even know you're below the line. That's the idea. So this idea, this group, and all that stuff is going to come in handy. So anyway, that's my challenge to you today. The Post-it notes, set your goals. Don't do it alone. I love the idea of creating teams. And I just wrote a couple other things down that came to my mind. Do people know that do people know you for your work ethic? Think about that. What's your brand? When people talk about you, do they know you as something that says they're going to do something and does it and puts the work in? That's an interesting concept. I love this thing. Arnold Schwarzenegger said this. He says, you can break the rules in life as long as you don't get in the way of others breaking the rules. So be abnormal. Be the 1%. Break the rules, because remember, the rules are created by the herd. Break the rules, but just don't get in the way of others acquiring theirs. Break the rules, not the law. That's what they said. And then another thing Schwarzenegger said is, he goes, he says his wife wears a shirt that says, a well-behaved woman doesn't make history. Isn't that true? Because the herd dictates what good behavior is sometimes, right? So here we're creating a new normal, abnormal, right? Anyway, so that's it. So I love the idea of April Fuels 2018. I love the idea of the Post-it notes. I know you guys are going to love that. And a lot of people took today off, didn't they? Live-wise. So they're all going to watch this recording. Share this. Pop off the 20 hearts when you check in. Share this, share this, share this. And welcome to April Fuels 2018. We're going to have an amazing month. Set your goals. Henry Ford says if you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there, right? So set your goals. Make very, very clear what your what and why is, and get into this book, and let's have some fun. Being abnormal, and it's above the line, and it's where success lives. Welcome.